We will start by talking about reading strategies. This refers to both meaning making processes and to the reader's knowledge about the purpose and function of the structure, feature, codes, and convention of different texts read in different contexts. There are seven: predict, visualize, question, connect, identify, infer, and evaluate. And today, my team, which is conformed of Ariadna, Alexa, Elisa, and Carmen, we will talk about connecting. Well, connecting is making connection is a reading compression strategy that involves linking what is being read and to what is already known. This strategy promotes engagement while reading and, in turn, a deep understanding of the text. With making connections, as with any other reading strategy, another reading compression strategy, it is important that teachers model the strategy for students.
Making text connections is a comprehension strategy that helps students make meaning of what they're reading. It requires students to use their background knowledge, which is information that they already know, to understand a new text.
Okay, and let's see. So my classmates told you an introduction about what is making connections, and I want to tell you a few benefits about this. So let's start with the first one. We help you to read more effectively. If you make connections, it will be more easy for you to have a context because reduce the mental effort to grasp an idea, so it's more easy. Contextualization of ideas, and in a few words, making connections between two different ideas will help you to understand not only an individual fact, but rather two or more facts. And it will be easy to understand a lecture because your brain links the concept to the context. So that's why it's more easy to understand maybe an academic text. Encourage critical thinking, and because it prompts you to ask why and how support that information, and is it accurate or is it relatable? So it's more easy to looking for answers. And all these benefits reduce frustration, increase motivation, and facilitates information synthesis. Also promotes engagement while reading. And why? Because you are compiling information, you are looking for examples, and I am asking questions, so maybe I enjoy the lecture. So summarizing all these benefits and facilitates information retention, and maybe you can think about it like a mind map.
Now I'm gonna talk about the process of connect. Although many students found making connections an easier strategy to master than some others, it does not always come naturally to all students, specifically those with limited experiences. Typically, the easiest type of connection for most students to make is the text to self connection. Starting by using read aloud text that you are confident most, model your own connections, and invite others to share theirs. Discuss the difference between deep connections and surface connections, and using a variety of prompts to guide students in making text to self connections can help focus a student's thought process. Some of the prompts to guide the students are: what does this remind me in my life? How is this similar to my life? How is this different from my life? And has something like this happened to me ever? How does this relate to my life? And what were my feeling when I read this? The text-to-text connections are the second type of connection that most teachers choose to teach. Choose to teach two texts that you know students will be able to easily identify similar topics, characters, or events. For example, you might read a book about a specific topic and then a fiction poem on the same topic. The prompts to help guide students are: what does this remind me of in another book I've read? How is this text similar to other things I read? How is this different from other books I read? And have I read about something like this before? And then for the text to word connections, choose books that have characters or are about topics that you will easily lend itself to text to word connection. And you can discuss the importance of air conservation, discuss concerns such water pollution, etc. And the prompts to help guide students in text to world are: what does this remind me of in the real world? How is this text similar to things that happen in the real world? How is this different from things that happen in the real world? And how did that part relate to the real world around me?
Okay, so I want a volunteer for this activity. Someone want to participate? Nobody? Okay.
Okay, you select, Ariadna. If you have nobody as volunteer, you are the teacher now, so you can select anyone you.
Ok, muy bien. Lo voy a sortear, voy a ser justa. A ver quién me sale primero. A ver. Carolina.
Yes.
Okay. Can you help me with this? It's easy. You only need to put the correct the correct name in the correct number. It's like comparative from the explanation that Luz gave to us in this moment.
Okay.
So the first one, ¿dónde
It-
crees que va?
To this. I don't know, maybe in the third one?
Third one. Okay. Um, okay. Va mal, bueno, perdón. Bueno, la primera no va en la tercera.
Okay.
Otro intento.
The first one.
Okay, text to text is more like, oh, this book reminds me from this other book, so it's in the second one.
Okay.
And what about text to self?
I think it was the first one.
Yeah, it's like a personal experience. My mom told me not trusting strangers. And the third one is from the third.
And yes.
It's more like, oh, I see this in a video. Thank you. Así que sería todo. Muchas gracias. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, so in conclusion, what we wanted to talk about our memory. Our memory, which is what processes new information, it has a limited capacity. We know that it works better when we can use familiar and well-organized information from long-term memory. We know that when there's too much information to handle at once, it becomes really hard to remember and understand, which can lead to poor focus on class. So when students connect new material to what they already know, that's when the user existing knowledge to make processing easier, which would help them understand and remember new information better in the classroom. Thank you for listening.